That's right, Denver. We're back at you again. You just heard the Fricashinas. We love the energy that they bring into this show, and we have a lot of energy coming in today. But first, of course, you know we are brought to you by Mile High Life. That is the pod network where you can check out all the local Denver podcasts. It's growing every single day. There's so much great content on there. Highly suggest everybody go check that out. And I am the MC for the evening. That's right. My name is Arthur Raw, and I am also joined by my good friend, Kevin Batstone.
Happy Friday, Denver. I know it's been a little bit nipply, as some would say. We're going to be looking into the 50s here as we head into the weekend.
And, of course, I'm also joined by the man that I've looked up to and am so honored to be doing a project with, Jon Ekstrom.
Damn the man, save the empire. Jon Ekstrom with you. Happy Friday. Thank you so much, Art. It's a pleasure being with you. Let's get to it.
Yes, we are getting to it, Denver, and we are coming out of a cold snap. We're going to have some beautiful days coming up, but last weekend we had President's Day weekend. So it was a little bit longer, but not for all of us. Jon, what did you get into last weekend, man?
So we started with music video theater, and holy shit, All-Star Game Remix, it was outrageous. Like, we had an unreal night Friday night with the best 40 music videos that I think we could come up with. Mm-hmm. One of which I'm going to share with you. This is a little-known secret. The best music video is actually a perfume ad called Kenzo World. We're going to drop a link to it in the show notes.
Okay.
It is one of the most unhinged, in-fucking-sane videos you've ever seen. I wrote about it on the John of All Trades blog. That was on Thursday, so check that out. We'll drop a link to that as well. Video's unreal. We had a great weekend. I had a long weekend. Kids were out of school for President's Day, and then again on Tuesday, so holy fuck, I sent them back. I'm trying to cram 5 days of work into 2.5 days. What about you guys?
Oh, man, it was a great weekend. It was a Daytona 500.
Oh, who won? Fuck.
So Ricky Stenhouse Jr. took the win. It came down to, it was the longest Daytona 500 ever in the 65 years of running.
How was that? What do you mean?
We had double overtime, which is, a newer, yep. So it's a newer rule in NASCAR. It's like the old timers are like, oh, well, what do you mean? Well, lap 200, the race is over. If the caution comes out towards the end of the race, we go into what's called a green-white checker.
Okay.
So you take the green, then the white, and then the next flag ends the race, whether that's a caution or a checkered flag. So we had a lot of wrecks. We had checkers and wreckers out there. Ricky Stenhouse was in the right place, right time, gets his first Daytona 500 win. Now, we were talking about Travis Pastrana.
Yeah.
He ran an incredible race. Ended up going 2 laps down at one point. Got it back on the lead lap, got back on the lead lap, and was able to put himself in position for almost a top 10. He got shuffled there, got turned by the 10 of Eric Amarola, and ended up 11th. Still an incredible finish for Travis Pastrana.
And this was his first?
His first.
Okay, so he finished 11th in his first race?
Yeah.
That dude is insane.
Yep. 11th in his first NASCAR Cup Series race, so at that premier level. It was an incredible race. Art, I know you watched it with me. What were your thoughts?
I mean, I just enjoyed the environment, honestly. We were hanging out, having some good food, drinking some beer, laughing.
I made a pot roast. It was delicious.
Yeah, avoided the queso this time.
Good.
But, man, it was laid back. So this weekend, last weekend I had fully booked. I had a couple dates scheduled. And both dates canceled on me. Uh-oh. So it's kind of fun, though, because it's not even a sad thing. Like, all of a sudden, I got my time and freedom back for that evening. Like, I had no plan. And I've been staying so busy that it was nice to just kind of hang out with the friends a little bit, take it really easy. I didn't have to, like, go out and be prepared to, put on.
Try and get your swerve on.
Yeah. Do the wooing and doting and all the courting festivities, which is fun, but you could get burnt out doing
that. That is how people talk about it. The wooing and the doting and the courting. That's what I hear all the young people say.
No, look, all you young people out there, you got to start getting on this courting stuff. You got to dote your girlfriend and you got to woo her, all right? That's the only way to see success. You got to be the man in the relationship.
Happy Friday. Wooing, doting, courting. Perfect. That's what we do.
Open it up with some strong dating advice, Art. I like that.
Yeah, no, it's fun, and I didn't have a long weekend. Okay, I had to go to work Monday, Tuesday, but it's been a great week. It's been a very productive week. February is continuing to be a challenging and also a milestone month for me. So I'm just looking forward to crushing it, man. We got to keep it up. So a lot of other people who crushed it were past presidents. Okay, and it was President's Day. Jon, what is your favorite lesser-known obscure president and why?
Okay, so I can't count this one, but I am wearing the Teddy Roosevelt socks
Okay.
that I got from Mount Rushmore.
Those are epic.
They're fantastic. And how could I not wear them here,
Yeah.
right? But my favorite all-time obscure president is our 8th president, Martin Van Buren.
Okay.
Okay, so Martin Van Buren was from New York. He was from Kinderhook, New York. So he was known as Old Kinderhook. And so in his campaign materials, it was known as Martin Van Buren is Old Kinderhook. They shortened it to Martin Van Buren is okay.
Okay.
And that is one of the origins of how we get that phrase okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
No shit,
That's
right?
a great
Yeah,
history.
I didn't even know
Okay,
that.
so here's the other thing. I had the Encyclopedia. Did you own that? That Beavis and Butthead companion book?
The Encyclopedia.
Yeah. So that sucks. And so it said this book sucks. And in it, they have a gallery of portrait of presidents, and the first one is George Washington, but they just call him George Dollar. It's just named according to Beavis and Butthead. Under Martin Van Buren, all it says is he's bald. That's all it says. He's bald. So 2 reasons Martin Van Buren is my favorite. Who you guys got?
All right, so I went with John Quincy Adams.
Okay, our 6th president.
Yes. You know, I didn't want to go John Adams. I went John Quincy Adams. I felt like,
Well, dude, John Adams, you can't pick one of the first.
yeah, I know.
3.
That's true. That's true. Like when we first were writing this, I'm like, who would I want to go with? And I got to thinking about history class and thinking about our U.S. presidents. John Quincy was badass. Okay, you know, a fellow New Englander up from my neck of the woods, and one of the first U.S. ambassadors that really carried that position out for a long time.
All right.
He actually became the Secretary of State under President Monroe.
Oh, nice. All right. Yeah. So Madison, Monroe, our 5th president.
Yes, there we go.
So I quite like presidents. What can I say?
That's
It
pretty
seems
fun.
you have some good presidential knowledge here,
I do,
John.
and I have 2 backups in case either of you drop the ball. So
Hey, now when we drop it, we pick it right back up immediately, okay?
and then let's hear yours, motherfucker.
So I actually didn't find an obscure one that I wanted to talk about, okay?
Christ,
so,
okay.
But so I'm going to give you that pre-disclosure, and I'm going to have to talk about 2 as well. So first one, Andrew Jackson, but the main reason I want to bring Andrew Jackson up is because he actually holds the record for most duels a president has ever been in.
Yeah, you know why you're in duels? It's because you fucking hate people, and people hate you.
The man was in over 100 duels. He's killed people. I mean, look, who's on your socks? Part of the Rough Riders. That man is epic, okay? And he's probably killed more people, but as far as the duels go, Andrew Jackson. And then as I was thinking about the presidents, I had to think about Franklin D. Roosevelt. And
FDR.
It was just really interesting because he passed before the first atom bomb was dropped on Japan.
By Harry Truman.
By Truman. And so what I was thinking about, because he was our leader during the World Wars or the World War WW2, and the big one. And so I had this thought, like, I wonder what was in his head as he was going to pass, or as he was passing, about the Pacific Theater and where his confidence level was with the success of the United States to defeat Japan. And I just thought that was kind of an interesting thought, like, because he never got to see the end of the conflict, and where we are now, obviously, is America, right?
Yeah.
USA and Denver, and Happy Friday, Denver. But I just thought that was a really cool thought. Where was his head at? I don't know.
I mean, FDR, fascinating president, our only 4-term president. And Bill Murray played him in a movie one time, and they portrayed that scene where he got a hand job in the front seat of that car from his cousin. And you go, what the fuck is happening? Like,
I don't think I saw that.
Did you see that movie, Kev? I can't remember what it was called, where Bill Murray plays for FDR.
I don't think I saw it.
And there was the weird hand job scene with his cousin.
From his cousin.
I mean, I remember hearing about it, but I don't think I've seen it or know the name of it.
Okay, yeah, I don't know the name of the movie.
They call it a cousin courtesy.
A what?
Do they?
No.
A cousin courtesy.
Yeah.
That sounds horrifying.
Hey man, like some
And
people are into
like,
that shit.
my cousins are delightful people. Hard pass on all that. So that's me. Front page of the porn tube sites might tell you otherwise. Not interested in anything in my own bloodline here, or even step bloodline.
That's probably a good decision. I mean, we don't want to be dealing with inbreeding.
No. In breeding.
Yes.
So I want to add one more here.
Okay.
Chester A. Arthur. Okay, he was our 21st president, and the only reason I know anything about him is from Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Okay.
So remember Die Hard with a Vengeance? What is 21 out of 42? And he asked that truck driver, Jerry, he's like, Jerry, find out who the 21st president is. And he goes, Chester A. Arthur. What? Chester A. Arthur, 1881 to 1885. Did you know he was director of collector of customs right here in New York City? No, Jerry, I didn't know that. So I remember, I love Die Hard with a Vengeance. Mm-hmm. I remember that. So that's a little factoid about Chester A. Arthur.
No,
that's great. That's a great little factoid.
Yeah, no, and it's cool. You know, it's to become president. I mean, on so many different layers, there's this trust and also distrust in being a president, right?
Yeah.
Like you're loved and hated all at the same time. And anyone who's willing to throw their hat in that ring, you know, you're sacrificing privacy and all this other stuff. And I, even though don't agree with everything that the United States stands for, I still think we're the best nation on this beautiful blue planet that we live on.
Hands down, USA.
Agreed. Healthy skepticism of your government, healthy skepticism of your country is really, really good. But I'm proud to be an American as well.
Yes.
Amen to that.
Amen to that. And so there is a new addition in the Denver Zoo. You've probably heard about this. It was a long-awaited arrival, and the reason why is because a sloth was giving birth, and so it takes time. Like I remember reading in this article that they had been anticipating this two-toed sloth to be born for quite some time, and they were just anticipating it, and like it finally happened.
Wait a minute. Are you saying waiting for a sloth to do something took a long time?
Yes.
Weird.
Yes.
I've never heard that about sloths.
I thought they were quick.
But who'd have thought giving birth also was a slow process? Like you'd think they'd have it down to like this is how many months a sloth.
I think this is the way sloths do things. They're like a 45 played at a 33 1/3 to use a weird record reference.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is a cool story, all right? So it was born on January 26th, going back to when the sloth was actually born, right? And so now what they're doing for the community of Denver is everybody can get involved and basically give a $5 donation to vote for what the name of the sloth should be.
Until March what? When is it?
It's going to be until the mid-March.
Yeah.
Is when the voting is open until. So again, a $5 donation goes to the Denver Zoo. It's going to go to a great cause, and then you can have a little bit of stake on what you think the sloth should be called. And some of the options that we have here is Rain, Wicket, or Cappuccino. My question to you guys is, what's your vote?
Well, if I had to pick out of any of those, I would go with Rain, but I came up with a cooler name.
Oh, let's hear it.
Yeah, so the name I came up with is Took Slow.
Took slow?
Yeah, TUCKSLW. Took Slow. And it's took slow time, taking time, being slow, but took slow. And I feel like it has like a little bit of a flavor to it because two-toed sloths are all in South America and all that area. And I feel like that could be one of those type of names that would run like that.
Yeah, I could see that. I think if I had to pick something out of this list here, I mean, Rain, Wicket, or Cappuccino, I think the Cappuccino name sounds kind of fun. It's got that coffee flavor to it. I mean, Rain sounds a little bit...
Oh, Cappuccino, I get it. It's like ironic.
Yeah, I suppose. Wicket, though, I don't really know why that name was thrown in there, and I'm not really sure as to why these three made the final lineup for the voting process.
Yeah. Is it just these three?
get it?
Yeah, that's the three. That's what it's coming down to.
I wouldn't go with either of those either. My choice would probably be I would name it Ricky Henderson.
Ricky Henderson.
Yeah. Like
Ricky Henderson?
This is our sloth, Ricky Henderson. Ricky Henderson stole more bases than anyone in the history of Major League Baseball.
I see.
And so I went ironic too, right? So I mean that's just fun. Or Lefty.
Lefty?
Yeah, no, let's go Lefty.
Lefty the sloth?
Yeah, so Lefty the sloth because of all the drivers that hang out in the left lane in Colorado and drive too fucking slow. Okay, so you're going to be called Lefty.
Okay, that's actually pretty clever because I mean, Colorado introduced a law. What was it, a year or two ago, where you can't be
fucking
screwing
get
around.
over.
Get the fuck over.
Yeah, don't be camping out in the left lane. Here, Lefty.
We see a lot of that. It's tough. It's a tough thing to enforce though, because you got some idiot that's on their headset or they're doing whatever in the left lane. It's like, come on, man, get out of there. That's actually a pretty good name for the sloth.
Thank you.
What the hell is Wicket?
That's what we were trying to figure out what wicket is.
I mean, there's like a croquet wicket.
Yeah.
That's all I got right now.
Yeah, that's. I mean, look, Wicket. I don't know, but here the fact remains: $5, guys. Your vote can go towards what we're going to name this new baby sloth at the Denver Zoo.
So much fun. Keeping it on the animal theme right now, and really, Kev, I love that you keep coming up with these world record segments. I mean, this stuff's fun.
It's fucking bizarre, man.
And this one is actually quite an accomplishment. I mean, I have never heard. I'm just going to let you take it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, welcome back to Kev's Random Records. This one really stuck out. I think it's pretty cool.
Got to get a graphic for that.
I know, Random Records. Yeah. It's kind of
more
fun.
post-production work for you guys, but
That's it's fun for the people.
I like
I
like clicking buttons.
Yeah, I saw this article pop up earlier this week, and I'm like, this sounds like a perfect Happy Friday situation. So, the oldest dog ever, guys. Okay, it's 30 years old in 286 days, which broke the previous record. 30 years old. Think about that for a second.
It's wild.
It's a Portuguese dog named, is it Bobby or Bobby? I mean, I guess it could go either
Probably
way.
Bobby.
I think probably Bobby by the spelling.
Yeah.
But yeah,
B-O-B-I.
It broke almost a century-old record, and Guinness has acknowledged this as now the oldest dog to ever live. The breed of it's a purebred
it's a purebred?
Yeah,
Fuck.
Purebred Rafeiro do Antalejo, which is a livestock guardian dog with an average life expectancy of 12 to 14 years.
Yeah, see, purebred, no cuzzy courtesies with that dog.
Yeah, there isn't any inbreeding in this
Let's
animal.
hope not.
Yeah.
Usually mutts live longer. Like literally because they're doing mixed breeding. So the fact that it's a purebred is insane. 30 years, man.
Think about that. I mean, the oldest dog I ever had, I think, was maybe 14, 15.
Yeah.
She was a black lab, had epilepsy. She had some issues, but she still made it. Half of that.
Yeah, and
lifespan.
it's like double the life expectancy. And is it the diet that the dog's been eating? It has to be the diet. And this owner just must have had an extreme, and does still have an extremely healthy energy about them. I believe that's part of the dog's longevity. Is this?
I would agree.
This owner is actually an extremely healthy person that has a very great equilibrium on how they view life and take on all the challenges. They're a proactive person, and I feel like that is also leading to this dog's health because the dog hasn't been stressed out if it's living that long. It's been eating good. It's been exercising.
Yeah.
Like that's the only. It has to be.
All right, look, the oldest pet I've ever had is one that's still alive. I have a cat that is 18 and a half years old.
Wow.
His name is Jax, and he's incredible. And so his buddy Finn died a couple of years ago. And then we got this dog, and I think it's keeping him vibrant. He's totally deaf now.
Yeah.
And he's a total prick. Like, he's
Jax is?
Oh, yeah. He's a love muffin, but he's also a total fucker because, like, he owns this dog, and he knows it. Like, he just walks right in front of her, and she's like, "I'm sorry, sir. Let me get out of your way." Like, and so he's like, I'll live a little longer to fuck with this poor dog.
Yeah, because I'm the boss right now,
Yeah,
and it's good.
Totally is.
That's a pretty good life. 18 years, though.
18 and a half, man. He'll be 19 in July.
And he's pretty healthy.
He's not bad.
Was he the cat that was jumping on me when we did the first ever Jon of All Trades appearance?
Jumped on a table?
That could have been.
I think it was.
No, they're both gray.
Gray.
Man. They were both, and they looked very similar.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to say that it was that cat.
It might have been Finn. It might have been Jax. Who knows?
Maybe it was Finn.
knows?
Maybe it was Finn.
That was
What's the over-under?
Well, you can't set an over-under on that because over-unders are for points.
Yeah, what would the points spread be?
Kudos points. I think it was Finn.
I'm going to go Jax.
Okay, John, you're the deal breaker because it's your cats.
We'd have to go back and listen to the show, and I'm not going to do that. So
Yeah, I'm not either. We don't have time for that. We got other things to talk about, Art.
We do, and this one's actually important. I usually like to stick to good, positive stories and uplifting things, but sometimes it's good to have a real conversation about this stuff. So the title of this was I want my voice to help. I want to use my voice to help. A woman claims she was targeted, drugged at Denver International Airport at DIA. This lady her name was Madison, and she was just finished an overseas trip. She was going back to Ohio. She had a layover in DIA. She went to go to the bar, have a couple of drinks, relax. I think she just actually had one. But she admits that she wasn't paying attention to her drink while she was there. She was talking on the phone to her mom. She was talking to her husband. And so she admitted to that, right?
Well, and she shouldn't have to. That's the thing that pisses me off. Like, culturally, we should be past the point where you have to, like, watch your drink at all times. That sucks, man.
Well, I mean,
it's a reality. I get it, but fuck.
Keep it close. Like, if you're at a bar, especially like an airport or wherever traffickers are and people who target people like that, just talk on the phone, but have your drink in front of you. Like, you should have it within, like, a hugging range.
Yeah, like a very tight radius.
Yeah, it's not like way over to the right or something where, like...
or you're talking on the phone like this and the shit's like way over here.
Yeah,
like,
behind you. Yeah, so just be cognizant of that. So she went to go to her gate. As she was at her gate, she started to feel a little bit nauseous. And she's like, this is not right. This is not normal. So then she went to go she's like, I got to go throw up. And when she's walking into the bathroom, there's a woman there. And the woman says to her, I'm so sorry. And she was confused by that, thrown off, and it really threw a lot of red flags out. And as she's throwing up, she hears this woman on the phone with somebody saying, this is the first time we've had somebody throw up, right? And so she's immediately alarmed, thinking that she could be targeted for trafficking. And when she gets on the plane, she alerts the crew or the flight staff, the attendants, and then also lets her husband and mother know. And apparently this woman that was in the bathroom was also on this same flight. So for some reason, and she was like looking at different men on the flight, she ended up getting home safely. She was also on crutches at the time, so like easy to target, bad mobility. But really, I just want to talk about this because it is so important, and I've had friends and people that I care about who have told me, like, when they've gotten drugged and stuff, just be cautious of your drinks. You can't trust anybody in this world unless if you've known them for over a decade.
Yeah, it's kind of a wild story, really, when you think about it. And I think it is a good point to bring up that it's good to be conscious of our drinks, John, like you mentioned. It's sad that we still have to do that. That's one of the reasons why I try to keep my drink with me at all times. And I typically order bottles when I'm out because I feel like bottles are a little bit more of a challenge to slip anything into than like a draft beer or something like that. But look, the fact remains here. It sounds like it could have been an obvious trafficking situation. Especially with the comments that were made when she used the restroom and overheard somebody saying, hey, this has never happened before. It's scary. It's alarming. And I'm glad that she spoke out and brought some awareness to this because I think, look, anybody is can be subjected to being a victim at any moment. And it's sad that it could be that simple. Just, you're coming back from an international flight. You're trying to make it home. You sit down for an airport beer. Next thing you know, you might be dragged out.
Well, because beer tastes better at the airport.
It does.
So, excuse me. But not to make light of this, but so a little bit of behind the scenes here at Happy Friday is we all share a Google document when we're prepping for a show.
Yeah.
And I was watching you type watching you type this out, and it was literally like watching a closed captioning. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? Like this, like it was like some true crime shit. But I felt awful because like this is a terrible, terrible story and a terrible, terrible reality that we all have to live in. But I mean, it's a story from Denver 7. So like this is not some urban lore. This is not some myth. This is happening to people. Yeah. And these fuckers exist out there. So be vigilant at all times. Keep your wits about you. Keep yourself on guard. Again, it sucks that we have to do that. But shit, here we are. Yeah. Right. And so if we can do our own little part, like if nothing else, if you go, well, those dipshits at Happy Friday, we're like, hey, I'm gonna keep my drink with me. Yeah. Like, then fuck, that's good, right? Then we're doing what we can.
Yeah, and I actually really do agree with your advice, Kev, as far as getting like a can or getting a bottle opposed to a draft beer. Now, if you're drinking spirits, that's going to be a little bit more difficult to not have the big wide rim.
Right.
But if you could decrease the amount of size that drugs can be inserted.
Shrink the target.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like if someone's going to drug you, like the target kind of matters there.
It does. How convenient is it? How easy is it for them to slip it in?
Right. Terrible.
Yeah. So, look. She wanted to use her voice to help people. We are so fortunate to be here at Happy Friday. So we needed to take this quick moment to just talk about that and tell everybody, get your backs. Watch your six. Be careful out there. It's a tough world, and we can all make it together. I believe in everybody out there. So what we got next, this is definitely a big segue from where we're at. Well, I could actually do a good one here.
No, don't. Don't try.
So when you to and fro, when you're going to and from the airport, sometimes you're going to need a vehicle. And
God, no. And I told you not to try.
And a cool new way to buy a car in Colorado is through Carvana. And so I live off of like Colorado. I live in the.
We're not sponsored by Carvana, by the way. So a cool new way to buy a car is Carvana.
It was a good segue. And so I live in the Cherry Creek, Glendale area, and I have to drive by. I've seen this building multiple times now. And the first time I saw it, I feel like was like about a week and a half ago. And it's really interesting because it's just this big transparent glass building.
It's like a big tower, right?
Yeah, with all these cars in it. It looks like almost a Micro Machine building that you would have as a kid, just like where you're storing your cool cars.
Cool looking, yeah.
And so you can go buy these cars, they lower them down. But what a cool concept. I feel like I'm in the future every single time I look at this thing.
Yeah. It is a cool concept. I mean, Carvana is definitely gaining a lot of traction and is becoming a huge staple in the way that cars are bought and sold. And shout out to my brother, Matt Badstone. He just started a new job with Carvana on Monday down in the Phoenix Carvana market. So he's actually working for this company. He could probably speak to some of this a little bit more. But it's pretty cool because I've been driving down there when I come down for a visit. You can see the big vending machine. It's basically what it is. It's an oversized car vending machine, which is kind of cool, I guess. But really, the reality with Carvana, if I'm not mistaken, is you can do everything from your phone. You say, hey, this is, you can get approved for a loan. You can trade in. You can assess your trade-in value, and then they bring the vehicle to your house, pick up your trade-in. It's basically like DoorDash for cars.
Jesus Christ. So prior to Carvana, I went through an auto broker, which auto brokers are illegal in 47 states, except for Colorado, Arizona, and I think California.
Wow.
Where you basically pay a broker, and the broker finds the car for you. You pay them $500, and you don't have to do any of the haggling with the dealership. Every other state, you have to buy a car if it's a new car through a dealership, unless it's like a private transaction with used cars. So this is kind of fascinating. Colorado is cool in that way, where we have a lot of innovation like that. It'll be interesting to hear what the feedback is like with the DoorDash for cars.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing, I sold cars for a long time, and there's nothing like having a knowledgeable salesperson that is really trying to help suit your needs and allow you time behind the wheel, right? Because when you're purchasing a vehicle, until you've driven the thing, like how do you know, right?
You gotta know how it feels.
Yeah. So how do you know? What if you're buying from Carvana? Are you like going to other dealerships and like driving the car first, or like is it just new, or is it only new? It's probably used too, I would guess.
I think they're stepping into the used car market as they've gone along. But I think when they started out, it was new cars only.
Yeah.
I mean, I see these things all the time.
There are no used cars anymore, though. You know, like the used car market is insane. Like literally, because like there was cash for clunkers.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
During the Obama administration, you took a lot of perfectly drivable cars off the road, and then like supply chain, lots and lots of issues. There are no fucking used cars anymore, which is why the used car market is so expensive.
Yeah. I mean, that is a good point. That is a good point. Sometimes, I mean, even buying a used car, you're only saving, less than 5-10% on buying new.
My favorite thing about having a used car is my shit already has hail damage. The paint is.
You appreciate that.
The paint is already chipped and shit. Like, dog, I don't care where I park. If like this person parks too close to me, I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like, to not worry about your car getting dinged up or the paint being fucked up, like that's a freeing feeling. Like, I like having fresh clothes. I like having a fresh house to live in, fresh apartment. But my car, that motherfucker's going to get beat up regardless. I don't really care how clean my car is. Like, on the inside, it needs to be clean, but on the outside, it could get beat up. Just like me. I'm a little beat up, too. John, I know you're a little beat up, too.
Oh, yeah.
Kev, I know you're a little beat up, too.
Hey, we all take a little damage.
Yeah,
why we all got to get beat up? Man, so something else got beat up recently, Kev.
Yeah, so there was a situation that took place earlier this week here in Denver off Broadway. Is it the Dos Luces Brewery? Did I say it right, John?
You sure did.
I was going to say Dos Lucas.
Well, that's why.
That's why you did it.
That's why I'm spearheading this. So
we're in the American Southwest, Art. Learn some Spanish pronunciation.
I'm not that good with that. I'll just admit to it.
So in any case, there was a woman cruising down South Broadway earlier this week and kind of, attempted to change lanes, collided with a vehicle, made some contact, which sent her straight into this brewery, plowed right through it. Fortunately, it was early in the morning. It was around 8 a.m. There was nobody in there. Nobody was hurt, including the people in the vehicle.
That's good.
But the sad news is for this brewery is that they've been forced to close indefinitely because they sustained significant damage.
So what, they don't have insurance to cover this?
I'm sure they do.
But it's a lengthy process, right? They have to file the claim. They have to go through all of the renovations and things that they're going to need to do to repair what happened to this brewery.
And have you tried to do any construction lately? Holy fuck, man!
It's like not cheap.
The supply chain's
well,
backed up.
And like not only the supply chain, but there's just not a lot of labor out there.
Yep.
And the ones that you can
resources.
find are like
it's hard,
so.
Man.
Yeah.
So like this is going to set them back, and man, that sucks.
It does suck. I mean, they're taking a huge financial hit from this, no question about it. Obviously, some insurance money will probably be able to get them through the rebuild period. But I mean, I've never personally been to this brewery. I know, John, you're a big beer guy.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've been there for a taste. Is it good?
It's good. Yeah, it's real good. This story reminded me of how on, I think it's 1st and Broadway, or maybe 3rd and Broadway, there's a restaurant called the Hornet. And and it's Denver institution. I've been there a zillion times. I fucking love it. But probably once every 3 to 5 years, some dipshit can't handle the ice and plows right through the front of their restaurant. Like, literally, it happens to the Hornet all the time.
It's time to put up some barriers. Like, if this happened twice,
no shit, right?
Barriers are going up.
Yeah, like, fool me once.
Strike.
shame on you.
Yeah.
Fool me twice, you can't shoot the shooter. So
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, it's not gonna happen because you already tried to fool me once.
so we
That almost sounded like President.
That's
we
what I
were
was
both
W.
doing riffs on.
Yeah,
It's
W.
President
Bush.
show, bro.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
President
That's a
Bush.
good point. Bush, yeah, Bush 43.
yeah, you can't fool the fooler.
Yeah.
Fool can't be fooled again.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, no, exactly.
I love that quote. I mean, it's like,
It's-
fuck with me once, but twice. No, I know you're gonna fuck with me.
And you go, hey, he almost got there.
Yeah.
This is pretty close.
You know, I did not like listening to him while he was president. Like it used to piss me off. But now looking back, it's like watching the Wonder Years or something. It's
I
amazing.
will say it's aged interestingly.
Yeah.
There was a lot of shit that he did that I really didn't care for. But my God, listening to him, when you, like, if you can, I mean, time, they say tragedy plus time equals comedy, right? Mm-hmm. So the more you listen to anything, the further you get from it, the funnier it kind of gets.
It's true.
So, I mean, what can you say?
Bush 43.
Okay, let's talk about something he got busted for, which was cocaine.
Well, one thing before we segue, just for the owners of the brewery, look, you're getting challenged for a reason. You got this. Okay, John.
Okay, George W. Bush busted for cocaine at one point, and now we have a cocaine bear. Holy fuck. They say Hollywood doesn't have any good ideas. Here's one. Finally, at long last, I'm going to read the copy from the fucking website. Inspired by the 1985 true story of a drug runner's plane crash, missing cocaine, and the black bear that ate it. This wild thriller finds an oddball group of cops, criminals, tourists, and teens converging in a Georgia forest where a 500-pound apex predator has ingested a staggering amount of cocaine and gone on a coke-fueled rampage for more blow and blood.
Wow.
Holy shit. I am very, very excited for this movie. Have you seen the trailer? It looks unhinged.
Yes, I have seen the trailer. I'm super stoked for this movie. It's also Ray Liotta's last film before he
Oh, shit.
He passed
What a
away.
note to go out on.
Right? I mean, Ray Liotta's fantastic. The amount of shit that he's done, to have him involved with this film, it looks tremendous. I'm definitely going to want to watch this film. I don't know if I'm going to go to theaters. I might try to make some time for it, but the fact remains this film looks incredible.
No, you got to see it in theaters.
I think that's the way to go.
It's Cocaine Bear, man.
Yeah.
Cocaine
Cocaine
Bear
Bear.
demands a theater.
Look, and I'm just going to go ahead and say this, but watching a movie by yourself in the theaters, what are the best things you could ever do?
I agree.
It's amazing.
People are weird about it when you say that that's fun.
Like until
Fuck them.
Until you go solo, until you start doing life solo, going to restaurants solo, bars solo, movies solo, at
Only
home,
child, baby.
at home solo. You know, like I don't know, I'm kind of on that solo, you know. But
I'm on that solo, you know.
But the true story that where this was inspired from. This drug runners they were dropping off coke out of a plane and to come pick it up later, and this bear did find this. It had this whole like brick of cocaine
And it ate it.
and it ended up going into the town, but it ended up having a heart attack and just dying. You know, so like it's inspired by a true event, but they're gonna take this thing off the fucking rails.
Well,
I know
it's
it.
good, and they should,
Yeah.
because Cocaine Bear demands gonzo fucking shit.
It does.
Right?
Yeah.
It does.
It's called Cocaine Bear, for God's sakes. If it weren't, like, I don't need this to be a solemn meditation on the nature of humanity. What I want is a bear going ape shit high on cocaine.
It's going to be the most dangerous. Okay, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, it's going to be the most dangerous apex predator on the planet until it dies. More dangerous than an orca.
Can you imagine how much cocaine this thing had to ingest too?
Oh, yeah.
Like you're a fucking 1,000-pound grizzly bear.
Yeah.
Like Jesus.
Yeah, that's serious. I mean, one of the clips I saw in the trailer was, one of the bricks of cocaine.
Yeah.
He ate the whole thing, and they're like, "Fuck, what are we gonna do?" And this thing just starts going nuts, and he's starting to attack these guys like, "Rah." It's epic. The animation looks good. The CGI looks good. It kind of reminds me of The Revenant a little bit. I don't know if you ever saw that.
No, I didn't.
with
That's
DiCaprio
intense.
a couple few years ago it came
Oh,
out.
dude, that bear attack
That
scene.
bear scene was incredible, and I'm expecting it to be just as intense, if not more, in this film.
As long as they go over the top and make it totally insane, then perfect. Like, we don't have enough B movies anymore. And this is clearly a B movie.
Yeah.
This is exactly, like, as long as they make it what it aspires to be, then fuck, I'm thrilled.
I'm in.
So quick PSA to all the listeners and viewers out there. Don't do cocaine. It's laced with fentanyl nowadays. Like, it's not as pure as it once was back in the days. Just stay away from that. It's not worth the risk. Okay? I have to put that out there since we're on the subject.
That's a good PSA.
That's fine, man. And interesting point of fact about me, I have never, ever done cocaine.
I have in my 20s and did my partying with it. Not going to recommend anymore. It's too unsafe. And if anyone ever saw that movie Walk Hard with Dewey Cox, you don't want no part of this shit.
That is great. Let's go to cool stuff to do this weekend. What do we got here?
Oh, we got some fun stuff, man. We got Barks Bourbon and Brews benefiting the Foothills Animal Shelter. That's going to be tomorrow at 5 p.m. They're at the Belmer Shopping District in Lakewood. It does start at $100, guys, but your money is going to go to a good place. You can have a little bit of bourbon, take your pups out there. It sounds like a fun time.
Fantastic. Denver Travel and Adventure Shows at Colorado Convention Center. More than 250 destinations from around the world will be represented. So if you're looking to get your travel on, go down there, check it out, talk to some people, see where you want to go. They'll get you hooked up.
That's awesome. And there's a grand open party happening on Saturday off Lowry. It's a Denver Beer Company opens its newest tap room location. So that's going to be fun. Look, when places open, it's a new business. The owners are excited. They're ramping it up. Those are always really fun events to go to.
Guess how close it is to John's house?
5 blocks?
5 minutes. Not quite 5 blocks. 5 minutes from John's house. Lowry, I'm looking forward to this. Denver Beer Company does great shit. They have great beers. Their tap rooms are incredible. This one's huge, man. 9,600 square feet. 500 patrons. There's going to be live music. There's going to be special tappings. It's
going to be awesome.
It's going to be epic. So,
hell yeah.
Plenty of cool shit to do this weekend. We are hopefully, it's going to be warm. We're getting out of the cold. Mm-hmm. God bless us, everyone. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, let's warm it on up, guys. We're going to be seeing some warmer weather this weekend. We got some fun stuff coming your way in a couple weeks. For those that tune into Discussion Combustion, you've heard a little bit about the live event that we're going to be having on X-Denver. We're going to talk more about that as we get closer to it. John's going to be joining us for that. We're going to be pumping up Mile High Life. And speaking of Mile High Life, you're definitely going to want to tune into some of the amazing programs that are over there, guys. Just incredible. Vic Lombardi's Denver. Let's get drunk and talk about your wedding. Left Hand, Right Brain, the Gen X Show. The list goes on, guys. If you haven't gotten involved yet, you need to start.
And that's milehighlife.com. And look, it would be a big help if everybody could just give this a quick like. Give it a share if you know somebody else that would have fun with this one, and subscribe if you're having a good time with us, because we're having a good time with you. Let's make this Friday a really, really great Friday. If you're interested in communicating with us, maybe you want to send us some topics, we could take a look at it on all socials. That's at Happy Friday Den. That's DEN, Happy Friday Den. That's on all of them. Or if you want to send us an email, you're a little bit more old school, happyfridaydenver@gmail.com. And you know that's a wrap, baby. Let's bring in this weekend strong. Let's go, fricashinas.